Welcome back to Market on Close. 20 minutes left. Let's see what Bull's got. The NASDAQ touches back down to an interesting line on my chart. We'll see what happens. Let's go to Scott Bauer, CEO of Prosper Trading Academy. So, Scott, we're going to see if Bull's got anything left in them, but perhaps a little shell-shocked after this fade today?
Yeah, the tank's a little empty right now, Oliver. I'm not sure why this morning, in when I spoke with Ben this morning, I said, watch out for that rally that we got right off those numbers this morning. Regardless of whether the month over month was a little bit better than expected, there's still extremely hot numbers. Inflation is still roaring, and it's still not a good setup for the overall market here. So I think it's a tough environment right now.
Yeah, bingo. I watched that clip with Ben from Futures where he said that this is still a hot print. I mean, I can't agree more, right? There is a nominal component, a level that matters to the Fed that is not just a rate of change, and we're still very far above it. So if we know the Fed's locked in, how do we approach that as traders, Scott, if these numbers don't change what we've heard from the central bank?
Yeah, it's really tough because I think right now we've gone from the buy every dip, which, we became accustomed to for the last couple of years, to fading every rally. And until that breaks, I think that's the way you have to treat this. I'm not sure that we touch those lows that we saw, about a month ago or so. I think we're going to get close to them again, though. So there's a lot of chop out there. But again, for me anyway, I approach this as a fade first rather than a buy the dip. I think you have to until you get burned a couple times.
Where do you think this market has where do you think we've got the best chance of actually seeing some upside? Today we see the dollar just cruising, really finding its legs early on in the session. Gold up too. Maybe a Russia headline, someone in there. What do you think is looking good in this type of scenario, Scott?
I mean, I hate to say it and, hate to beat a dead horse. I mean, the commodity space is red hot, and I think it's only going higher from here. I look at other sectors, and I think it's very tough to really like anything. I mean, maybe you look at the defensive stocks and say, okay, they've had a nice run. They could go a little bit further here also. Longer term, though, Oliver, honestly, I do like the financials. I don't like them for this set of earnings here. I think you're going to see some mediocre results at best, especially from the big guys in terms of trading revenue. So I'd be a little hesitant to buy into financials here. I do think towards the end of the year, though, third, fourth quarter, they will ramp up quite a bit. But this is a tough print. This is a tough market right now.
So the earnings are not going to bail us out.
I don't think they are on the financial side of things. Expectations are not real high. I think it's going to be a real tough go at it here because there's going to be so much question about the commentary and guidance moving forward because, how do these companies react to what's going on geopolitically and overseas here? They're not going to put out in their guidance, well, what if, at the escalation, really comes down quite a bit, then this is going to happen. Or what if, things continue with Russia and Ukraine for the next 6 to 12 months, this is going to happen. I think it's going to be a very, very gray area when it comes to guidance, and I think that's going to be reflected in the result.
Okay, so banks first, but then next week we get some of the big tech names. We're going to get Tesla, and we're going to get Netflix too, by the way, which is looking totally listless right now after it blew up on the last report. What about the growth tech side of this? Is it going to favor them that they're reporting at the very lows of their charts, many of them, or is that just going to mount the pressure even more to give us some kind of different message than last quarter where a lot of them told us that they're peaking out for their top line growth?
I think it will favor them in terms of maybe we don't get those dramatic sell-offs that we saw last quarter. In fact, maybe we'll see a little bit of upside just because expectations now are so low. But I think that they are shielded a bit from these low expectations here in terms of a dramatic sell-off. I think many of these stocks are going to trade sideways to maybe slightly higher, the growth tech stocks.
All right, nice setup for us. Talk some earnings next. Thank you, Scott, for the check-in. Nice call with Ben this morning. Mr. Bauer, CEO, Prosper Trading Academy.